Think of the man who brought electric cars into mainstream culture, who developed the world's first most successful private rocket firm, who changed the face of satellite internet, and whose net worth placed him atop the planet. Now imagine putting that person in politics. Would anyone think twice? How difficult can political processes be if you have succeeded in landing rockets on platforms in the ocean? However, what if politics is a totally new ballgame? What if the qualities required to become a businessman or inventor are exactly those which will cause trouble when put in charge of government? Elon Musk's troubles show us that managing the fate of an entire country is fundamentally different from leading a business in the private sector. In today's episode, we'll explore one of the most intriguing questions ever. Why can Elon Musk bring revolutionary changes to industries, but cannot change politics? This question uncovers one more side of this enigmatic genius, as well as of democracy as a whole. First off, one needs to understand the reasons why Elon Musk gained such popularity and prominence. Whereas most entrepreneurs choose to concentrate on a single industrial sector, Musk decided otherwise. When Tesla began operations, experts predicted that electric cars would remain a marginal product. Established car companies monopolized the market, and the cost of batteries was considered prohibitive. Tesla showed them wrong. Afterward came SpaceX. For decades, the aerospace industry had belonged to governments and major contractors, while rockets were very costly to develop. SpaceX slashed the costs and made reusable rockets a reality. Following this success came Starlink, a network of satellites for providing internet services across the globe. Further came artificial intelligence with XAI. Regardless of whether people like him or hate him, nobody denies the fact that Elon Musk has managed to shape multiple industries in ways never seen before. Thus, a certain impression grew around his name. Namely, his supporters started considering Musk not only as a businessman, but rather as a man who had solved problems across a wide range of industries. If he could resolve transportation, space travel, energy storage, and communication, why couldn't he do the same for politics? However, this assumption failed to take into account a crucial difference. Industrial sectors are driven by the laws of engineering. Governments are affected by people's behavior, which turns out to be much harder to predict. Hello and welcome again to Global Economy Explained. Are you interested in learning about the world of artificial intelligence, global economies, finance, and new technologies? Then you've come to the right place. But before we start, please give a little help to the channel by clicking that like button and sharing this video with another person who would like to know what's going on in the world today. So, without further ado, let us return to the story, because what is going to happen will definitely change the global economy and even affect our lives in the future. Why engineering is easier than politics, it sounds unusual, but engineering is, in at least one sense, an easier endeavor than politics. Opinions do not matter in physics. The rocket will get into space or not. The engine will run well or will break down. No matter what your opinion, belief, or political preferences might be, the laws of nature will not change their rules. Politicians face an entirely different task. Suppose that you are building a bridge. Everyone in charge of engineering understands the task. The bridge must deliver safely its cargo from one point to another. Now suppose that you are building an economic policy. Millions of citizens disagree on the policy you need to build. Some people think taxes must be lowered. Others believe that money should be spent for something else. Businessmen, workers, pensioners, and politicians have their own agendas. They do not understand how to build the bridge together. It is impossible to find out the right solution which would satisfy everybody. It means that in addition to expertise, persuading is required to make things done. Sometimes it is much easier to persuade people than to calculate and find the optimal answer. That is the problem faced by many successful businessmen in a political environment. The political experiment of a billionaire Elon Musk did not join politics the conventional way. He was not a governor or senator, nor was he a longtime political activist. He joined politics by influence. And in this new digital world, influence counts just as much as official positions. A man with 1 billion followers on social media has more access to communication channels than many big news corporations. Each and every post by him reaches the entire planet immediately. That is political power in a unique sense. For centuries, rich and influential business people affected politics in their favor using the traditional ways of donations, lobbying, and personal relationships. Mr. Musk did not follow that route. He became active in discussing politics himself. Issues like migration, free speech, governmental spending, and legislation suddenly became a matter of his personal opinion. His supporters found such actions justified, while opponents were critical of his involvement. The very debate here says a lot about political legitimacy. Success and influence provide business people with an authority. It is an implicit authority based on voluntary decisions of customers. The authority in the democratic political system is supposed to come from citizens' choice during elections. The difference is obvious. One might have huge amounts of influence, incredible wealth, and accomplishments changing the world. However, mere influence will not give rise to political legitimacy. What history taught Elon Musk is far from the first entrepreneur to venture into politics successfully. There is plenty of history in this regard. Some succeeded, some failed. It is an interesting story. Many business people enter politics thinking that managerial experience will solve all problems there. They may prove right sometimes. It helps a lot to think strategically, to allocate resources efficiently, plan, to implement plans effectively. These are valuable skills indeed. However, one needs other skills to succeed politically. The ability to negotiate, work with people, gain trust and confidence of the majority, exercise patience. History knows few politicians who could combine the two skills, while politicians who use business approach to politics learn that it takes much more than that. This does not mean that entrepreneurs cannot be successful politicians. Some were. The thing is that they need to learn another craft. As a politician cannot suddenly start designing rockets. A designer of rockets cannot suddenly govern a country. It takes certain skill, experience, and responsibility for millions of lives. AI and the future of politics. Perhaps the critical question isn't whether Elon Musk is able to reinvent politics. Instead, it is whether technology will reinvent politics. The advancement of artificial intelligence is rapid. Algorithms play an increasing role in information. Social media impacts public opinion. Data analytics influence political campaigns and voting outcomes. Technology becomes ever more embedded into governance processes, while some see the potential for more efficient administration through AI. With faster policy analysis, better resource allocation, better services, others fear the risks associated with the consolidation of power through technology, lack of privacy, algorithmic biases, losing democratic accountability that will define the next few decades. No single individual stands closer to the center of this issue than Elon Musk. His companies play a part in developing the very technology that will shape the future. But the task does not change. Technology gives the tools. Politics chooses to use those tools. Even an incredibly advanced artificial intelligence algorithm cannot decide which values a society should hold, what the citizenry should prioritize. This decision is always a human one. The future belongs to societies that will successfully fuse technological innovation with democratic prudence. Not rockets, not electric vehicles, not social media, but this fusion is perhaps the biggest challenge of the 21st century. The true lesson for the future when people talk about Elon Musk and politics, what comes to mind is not the story of Elon Musk himself. What it is instead is a lesson on the limitations of expert knowledge. In modern societies, there seems to be a notion that expertise in one field guarantees success in another. The past proves otherwise. History shows that some of the most accomplished soldiers have proven inadequate at running nations. Some highly successful politicians have shown incompetence at building companies, and some of the most innovative scientists have made for the worst of leaders. Every field of knowledge presents its own obstacles to success. The tale of Elon Musk provides some crucial insights. Science and technology can address many issues. However, not every problem out there is scientific or technological in nature. Some are inherently social, others have to do with culture, yet others pertain to politics. The future requires not only technological innovation but also sound political governance. In other words, neither alone will suffice. Electric cars, reusable spacecrafts, artificial intelligence, and sophisticated communication tools can expand our capacities as human beings. But democratic systems of government determine how they will be used by society. For the better future, engineers must work in tandem with political experts. Maybe the true question should be this: is it possible for technology and politics to cooperate without trying to dominate one another? What is your opinion? Can successful entrepreneurs also become politicians? Or are the business world and the political world completely separate? Write down your opinions in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button if you like this video, so that we can keep coming up with such topics like globalization, economics, geopolitics, technologies, and other interesting stuff. Thank you for watching Global Economy Explain.